Target Trading Academy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Preston Vogl here at Target Trading Academy with today's Micros Market Recap. Let's get right into it. It is Tuesday, February 14th at the close. Happy Valentine's Day. So let's start off with micro oil. Oil, we opened inside, barely inside the range from yesterday. Had a little bit of a push up. Let me get that out of the way. There, they fought it. And ultimately, sellers just started taking charge right out of the gate. Finally, buyers stepped in, brought it back into balance towards that close. And then for the rest of the day, it pretty much just went sideways. With that said, we are finishing... Sorry, my bad. The close was up here. We never got to the close. So we are finishing that down for the day. For whatever reason, I thought the close was here, but I am mistaken. That's just a lot of participation there. That's what I saw. But we are finishing that down. Sideways day for the most part, especially in the afternoon. The morning, we had some decent volatility, especially with that news that came out at 8:30, that CPI that you see there. It just put a ton of volatility into the markets for us there to actually get some movement. But with that said, it was the afternoon was pretty choppy. You can see that CPI in gold. So with gold, we did open above the close from yesterday, and then that news came out 10 minutes after and just boom, went to it, hit that HVA edge, had really good response, although that's a ton of risk right there. If you're looking for an entry, that's a lot of risk. You'd have to really reduce your contract size and reduce down as much as you can, and then right back up to that HVA edge where it came down, and just a little bit of a ping pong between these HVA levels. Again, these levels are given out the night before. So if you are interested in getting more information about that so you can get it on your charts the night before, stay tuned to the end of the video where I'll tell you how that is possible for you to get it onto your own charts. But with that said, they finally made new lows. They tested them again later on in the day, but it was just painting fences, long moves up. Not to say there aren't opportunities for our students to take anything at those edges. There was one right there around 940. And again, at 11 and 12-ish, respectively. So gold is finishing slightly net positive. In terms of our equities, we had quite the movement. We had several round trips. A round trip is when you overtake the prior highs and or lows, depending on what direction you initially started. So if you opened up and you made a ton of new highs and all of a sudden you came and surpassed those opening lows, that's, in essence, that's a round trip. And they can happen several times throughout the day. So it's just that bobbing and weaving. That's pretty much what we saw today. Maybe not that many round trips, but quite a few, to say the least. And that's okay. That happens, especially when there's volatility. But we opened in the ES here, inside the middle of the range, below the close, had initial selling, found support around that HVA level, and they brought it up, hit that edge. Again, these levels are drawn the night before, and then finally buyers really stepped it up. That right there all happened within the first 30 minutes. That was the opening highs. That's not necessarily a round trip. We refer to that as a lap because that first period, it's to be expected to get a lot of that back and forth. So we just had a quick lap, and then buyers started really forcing their hand and taking it higher and taking it higher. And then finally hitting this edge, they said no more. And the seller stepped in and brought it all the way down. And you can see here that they brought it below those prior lows. And that is most certainly a round trip because you have a set period defined, that first 30 minutes. They came down, tested the lows. They didn't break them, so we didn't get anything trending set up. But we did get some response at that level. And then finally, they did ultimately break them, got some potential trending entries for the students there for it to ultimately start climbing again. With that said, it didn't make new highs after that. So we did get the one round trip. It looked like they might have looked for another one, but in the end, sellers had the heavier hand, and we did finish net down in the ES. Not the same story in the NASDAQ. We actually are finishing net positive in the NASDAQ. Similar opening, I will say, though. We opened below the close, and had that initial sell-off where we found some buyers stepping in, and they brought it up. Again, you can see the response around those HVA levels, both on the long and the shorts, that our students have the night before so that they can get them onto their charts however early they want from when they're published. So had that run up, and again, like in the ES, they said no more, came down. But unlike the ES, they almost, and you'll see here, they almost had another round trip after setting in those new lows. But again, you can see the response at those levels, and then you'll see here they start climbing and climbing and climbing, and they got close to new highs, but close isn't a new high. So it's just briefly they got to those levels up there, but again, they couldn't quite get it to make another round trip. But they are finishing net positive as opposed to negative from the ES. So you have a little bit of a mixed market sentiment, however you want to describe that as. It doesn't really matter in terms of what we do. We just trade what's in front of us based off of the market profile methodology that these levels come from. If you are interested in learning more information about that and how you can get them onto your charts the night before, feel free to reach out to us. We are Target Trading Academy. You can find us on Facebook or go to our website at targettrading.co. Again, that is targettrading.co. Get in touch with one of our consultants at either location. They'll gladly show you what we do in our rooms each and every day, and you'll be able to see for yourself why we are the #1 trading education company in the world. We look forward to seeing you there.